Hello, I'm back to do another part. This will be the next Charity Shop Special Part 4, I guess. So yeah, just leaving off where, starting where I left off last time. First album I'm going to show off is Ludacris's Word of Mouth. This came out in 2001. I think this is his second album, maybe, second or third. Most well known for songs like Rollout and Area Codes and Move Bitch and stuff like that. Um, Ludacris, for some reason, he's never quite clicked with me, even though I actually think he's a good MC and stuff like that. There's something about the music has never really clicked with me. Um, I need to listen to this more times to see if it will grow on me or not. It's not bad by any means at all. I'm not dissing it at all. I think he's very talented, and I like his punchlines and stuff like that. He's pretty clever and witty on the mic and stuff like that. But um, yeah, I need to listen to this again and give it more of a chance. But I don't know, something about it just doesn't quite click with me. That's just me though. But yeah, it's this is a popular album, probably his most popular album out of all the albums he's put out. But yeah, it's not bad. I need to listen to it again to give it a proper opinion on it. Here's another Ludacris album. It is Theater of the Mind. This came out in 2008. I actually like this one more. I actually thought this was pretty dope. Um, I thought the production was harder on this album, and he just sounded really kind of surprisingly hungry on this album. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it. There's a good song on here with the game called Call Up the Homies. A good song with Rick Ross called Southern Gangster. That's probably my favorite song on the album. Yeah, I thought this was a good album. I thought it was dope. There's like a block of like girly kind of songs. Which sort of let down the album a little bit, but in general, I actually thought this was dope. I was really surprised by this. So, yeah, Ludacris, Theater of the Mind. This came out in 2008. And next up, we've got a Ludacris affiliate, or at one point Ludacris affiliate. We've got Chingy with Jackpot. This came out in 2003. I believe this is his first album. Not a fan of this really. I don't really remember anything about it. Pretty generic. He kind of fits in with like the Nellies and stuff like that that were out at that time, and the Saint Lunatics and all that kind of crowd. Not that great. There's a song towards the end. I don't remember the name of it, but it's pretty decent because it has a DJ quick beat. So that's a decent song. But no, I wasn't really a big fan of this. I don't really remember anything off it. I remember there's the singles Right There and Holiday Inn, but yeah, no, I'm not really a big fan of this. It's not really my cup of tea. Maybe I should listen to it again, but no, I wasn't. I wasn't really feeling it that much. Next up, we've got Two Gangster for Radio. This is a Death Row compilation that came out in 2000. I haven't listened to all of this yet, but it's actually not bad. It's not terrible. Um, you know, I would never. This is another example of something I would probably never buy this normally, but because it was in the charity shop, it was like we might as well give it a go. Um, Definitely the standout song on here is the song "I Ain't Fucking With You" by CJ Mack. He goes hard at Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Hitman on that song. He goes hard on the and the beat's really dope too. Like I don't know. I don't know what CJ Mack's beef is with Dr. Dre. If you've heard his album Platinum Game came out in '99, he dissed him on there and stuff. I don't know what his problem is there, but it's a good song. I do like it. There's a song called "Everywhere We Go" with Above the Law. That's not bad. But yeah, I haven't listened to it all, but it's not like a terrible compilation. Some of the other artists are you got Ja Rule, Rough Riders, you got some Tupac on here, Max Sean's on here, who was a part of the Funk Mob, I believe, on Sequidit Records. Dresta, from BG Knockout and Dresta. Kind of interesting that he would be on this album when you think about it, considering he used to be anti-Death Row, when he was down with Easy. But yeah, I don't know. It's I wouldn't really recommend it, but it's got some decent tracks on here, so it's not, it's not terrible. I just don't like Death Row around this time period. I can't really get down with any of the stuff they were putting out, but yeah, it's not terrible, I suppose. It's got some decent songs. Next up, we're getting into some like Eminem stuff. Speaking of Eminem, so we've got the 8 Mile soundtrack. This is, of course, is the soundtrack for the movie 8 Mile, which Eminem starred in. Everyone knows songs like "Lose Yourself," um, "Wanksta" by 50 Cent's on here. Not bad. It's actually a pretty good soundtrack. I thought it was pretty good. Obi Trice is on here with the song "Adrenaline Rush." That's pretty good. Let's see what else is on here. There's a Nas song. Rakim's on here. Gangstar. Yeah, pretty solid soundtrack. Not like amazing material, but pretty good stuff. I like the song "Rap Game" by D12 as well. That's pretty good too. So yeah, pretty solid soundtrack. That came out in 2002, in case I didn't say. Next up, we've got Eminem's Encore. This album came out in 2004. This is his fifth album. Um, I don't like this album that much at all. It's a very poor album, very lazy, juvenile album. It's not very good at all. There's like 4 or 5 songs that are decent on here. Like Toy Soldiers is a decent song. Never Enough is a decent song featuring 50 Cent and Nate Dogg. That's a decent song. Mosh is a decent song. One Shot, Two Shots, okay. Encore is okay at the end with Dr. Dre and 50 Cent, and that's it. The rest of it. Not only is it bad, it's really really bad. I think this album is pretty terrible for the most part. Evil Deeds, not a good song. Puke, terrible song. My First Single, terrible song. Rain Man, not a good song. Big Weenie, one of the worst diss songs of all time. Eminem's rhyming on this album is very lazy. You can tell he's kind of not putting his full effort into it and stuff like that. It's now known that he was on drugs when he made this album or whatever, but I don't know. I don't really take that as an excuse. It's like, um, I don't know. There's like other artists that are on drugs and they can make pretty good music. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just not a good album. And the lyrics are terrible throughout most of this album. You know what I mean? Very like he's just rhyming about nothing on a lot of these songs. You know what I mean? Just making references to Spider Man and fucking Christopher Reeves and all that shit. It's just like it's so immature. This album, so juvenile and not good. Just Lose It, terrible single. Ass Like That is just horrendous. Not good, not good at all. It's very all over the place. This album, there's no focus to it at all. Like even though I don't mind the song Marsh, I mean I like the beat. That sounds completely out of place in this album. Sounds nothing like the rest of it. Um, and even though like I give a lot of criticism to Eminem, obviously on this album, it's his album. But Dr. Dre, like come on, like what the hell? Some of Dr. Dre's worst beats ever are on this album. Just terrible. Big Weenie is being a good example, and I believe he produced Ass Like That as well. It's like wow, Dr. Dre really. And I'm surprised Dr. Dre didn't make like Eminem shelve this. You know what I mean? Because he's shelved plenty of artists before. You know what I mean? The one that always gets me, that always upsets me, is the King T, Thy Kingdom Come, that was supposed to come out in '98. Because that's actually a really dope album, way better than this trash. But yeah, not that good. There's a couple of okay songs, but not a good album at all. And then we've got Eminem Presents the Re-Up. This came out in 2006. This is a compilation of all the people that were signed to Shady Records at the time. So obviously you got Eminem, Obi Trice, Stat Quo, who was around at this time, didn't really do anything. He's not bad, but he didn't really do anything. Cassius, who was also signed, I believe he put out an EP in 2007, but he never put out an album or anything. I actually think that's a bit of a shame. I haven't listened to any of his other music, but I like Cassius on this release. You know what I mean? I actually think he's pretty good. His verses are pretty grimy. Um, who else is on here? D12, of course. Proof. from D12. Yeah, not bad. It's actually a solid compilation. Eminem's like this came out in 2006. I like Eminem like in like 2004 to like 2006, 7 are like the worst years of Eminem. But he sounds better on this album. You know, he's actually kind of getting back some of his fire again on this album, and you know it's not too bad. The thing that sort of hurts this compilation is that it sort of showcases these artists like Stack Quo, Cassius, Bobby Creekwater, etc., etc., but they went on to not really do anything. Like it kind of just hurts the sort of validity of this compilation. Same problem with the Dr. Dre presents the Aftermath. You know, it showcased like a lot of artists that didn't put out anything on Aftermath. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's not bad though. It's actually a solid compilation. It's not bad at all. Next up, we've got Jazzmatazz Volume 2 by Guru. This came out in 1995. This is a really, really good album. I thought this was great. I actually like this more than the first one. I know that's probably not a popular opinion, but I think this album's more hip hop compared to the first one. You know, the first one, is more on the jazz tip. This is more hip hop, but with obviously still elements from jazz. You know, a lot of live instrumentation from jazz musicians and so on. My favorite song in here is the song "Nobody Knows." Love that song, really awesome. The song "Lost Souls" is really good as well. That features Jamiroquai. A lot of other interesting guest features on here. I Kamosi, you know, the guy that Here Comes the Hot Stepper song. He's featured on here on the song. Red Eyes or something it's called. I'm trying to find it on the track list. It's on here somewhere. But yeah, I can't find it. Sorry. DJ Premier actually produces a track on here as well. Of course, his Gangstar partner. Yeah, I thought this was great. I thought this was really good. Actually, I highly recommend it. I know. That picture on the back, that I think that's the American cover, is that? But I actually like this one of him standing next to the car. I don't know, it's pretty cool. But yeah, Jazzmatazz Volume 2 by Guru, great. Highly recommend it. Really happy to find that. Here's another great album. It is Exhibit at the Speed of Life. This came out in 1996. This is his first album. This is when he was heavily affiliated with King T and Alcoholics and all that. Has that same kind of sound, that sort of boom bappy kind of sound. I thought this was great. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, for some reason my my brother had this back in the day and he didn't like it at all. I don't know why. I thought this was a really good album. I like the sort of hard production on here, and I thought Exhibit just did a really good job on every song. Everyone, well, a lot of people probably know the song Paparazzi. It's really good. Um, Overall, though, it's just I think all this entire album really, really, really solid, really good stuff. I highly recommend it, and I highly enjoyed it. Really happy to find it for only 50p. Fantastic. So yeah, next up, this one's not really a hip hop album per se, but let's show it off anyway. It is the Space Jam soundtrack. This came out in 1996 as well, or yeah, 96 I think. Doesn't say on the back. Oh yeah, 96. Yeah. This isn't really a full hip hop soundtrack. Most of it's R&B, I would say. You know, from the likes of Seal, R. Kelly with the song "I Believe I Can Fly," D'Angelo, and so on. But there is some hip hop on here. The most important one being the song "Hit 'Em High" with Be Real, Busta Rhymes, Coolio, LL Cool J, and Method Man. Dope song. I don't care what anyone says. Dope song. It's sad that song is way harder than the stuff that's than a lot of the stuff that's coming out nowadays. You know what I mean? A song that was made for a kids movie, is harder than a lot of the stuff coming out now. It's crazy. There's also Coolio has his own song called "The Winner." I believe that was a single as well. Because I've actually seen that single out in the wild, but I never bought it. It's an okay song. I'm not really a big fan of it. There's a song with R. Kelly featuring Changing Faces and Jay-Z as well. Biz Marquis on here as well. So yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. I've sort of grown an appreciation for 90s R&B recently as well. So yeah, it's not a bad soundtrack at all. It's fine. Um, Next up, we've got again. This is another one. If it's not really hip hop, but I'll show it anyway. TQ's first album. What's it called? They Never See Me Coming or Never Saw Me Coming. This came out in 1998. Most well known for the song West Side, which I actually do like. I think it's a good song. And there are some good hip hop features on here. My man E40's on here. Trey D's from here. From the DPG click. Two Shorts on here, and Daz Dillinger and Corrupt on here as well. Not a bad album. I'm not like a huge R&B fan, but I thought it was a pretty decent album. You know what I mean? I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. So yeah, pretty good. Not bad from TQ. Next up, we've got Roots Maneuver with Brand New Second Hand. Yeah, that's what it's called. This is his first album. This came out in 1999. This is UK hip hop. I just thought I would give it a go because it was 50p, and I do like the song by Roots Maneuver, Witness. Witness the Fitness or whatever it's called. That's on his second album. I do like that song. I'm not really like a massive fan of this. I thought it was alright. I like the beats. You know what I mean. The beats in here are more like East Coast boom bapish kind of beats, you know what I mean? I thought it was pretty good production, but obviously like the accent and stuff like that with his rapping is a bit hard to get into, but it's not bad, you know what I mean? I should listen to it more. I know a lot of people like Roots Maneuver, he's very well respected. He was definitely one of the pioneers as far as UK hip hop goes, you know what I mean? He's not I don't like most UK hip hop, like the grime scene and all that. I can't get into that, but I like Roots Maneuver to an extent, thanks to the production and stuff like that. So yeah, Roots Maneuver, Brand New Second Hand. This came out in 1999. And next up, this is the last one, and this is a crazy find in a charity shop. I couldn't believe it. It is Rick Ross with Rather You Than Me. This came out this year, 2017. Anyone knows me, I do like Rick Ross quite a bit. I'm a pretty big fan of his now. His music has slowly but surely grown on me over time, and I was beyond blown away when I saw this in the charity shop for £1. The weird thing is they actually had the cover backwards, so that was on the front instead. But I was still like, oh, it's Rick Ross, you know what I mean? When I was digging through, and then I looked to see like what it was, because I thought it might have been like a mixtape or something, because I never saw that cover before. And then I looked on the back, I was like, no, it's actually Rather You Than Me. This came out this year, and I was like, wow, for £1. There's the price sticker if you can see it there, £1. Absolutely insane. Yeah, this is a dope album as well. I think it's one of his best albums. Starts off really strongly with the song Apple of My Eye. Santorini, Greece is good. Adults Become Rivals, which is him going at Birdman, of Cash Money fame, aka Baby. Even like the more like trappy kind of songs, I have to admit I do like. I think Rick Ross does that well, better than most people. The song Trap 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 with Young Thug and Wale. I don't like Young Thug at all, but he doesn't bother me in that song. Same sort of thing with the song She On My Dick featuring Gucci Mane. I don't like Gucci Mane, but he doesn't bother me in that song. Powers Up B featuring Nas, another dope song. I thought this was a dope album, really great stuff from Rick Ross. So yeah, keep up the good work, Rose. Yeah, I definitely slowly but surely want to get all of his albums. So yeah, that's the end of this charity shop special. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for sticking around as always.